máa wọ wíìgì bá ń gbé wíìgì.
Èwo ṣé tẹ̀sí? Bọ́lá wá fi sí.
Number yeah, setting music.
Ó ní wájú.
Tell me sorry. Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for joining the Mongolo Kuni Show with Abby and friends. You know, today has been a bit of a tough day because, trying to just get things sorted out and all of that. But you know what? We getting there one way or the other. So, how have you all been doing? I hope you've been doing great. I hope today is not been so stressful. I hope that things have been going well. So, yeah, mm, a few things have happened. But before I go into that, let me just tell you what I've been doing my week. My best friend Pam's getting married, so we had a hen do that was very nice. Just celebrating and rejoicing and plenty of food. And when there's food, me, I'm there. I ate my body weight in food. I had so much to eat. And then, of course, back because we had half term, so I had time to relax a bit. But then back into college with assignments, everything. And, we are doing Panto, Puss in Boots. I'm a sexy, wicked cat. So, just getting ready for that, trying to learn the lines and everything. And today, our tutor insisted we dropped our scripts, so we had to like learn the lines from offhand. I was like, hey, I'm in trouble, but I sure did what I could do. Then late last night, just before I was getting ready to go to bed, in fact it was early hours of the morning, I was seeing people write, oh, it's impossible, this didn't happen, how God, please don't let this happen. I was wondering, hey, what is it? And me, I tried to run away from bad news. I was just like, I beg, I don't want to hear anything bad. So I was like, I don't want to know what it is. But I was reading that people are horrible. They're writing all kinds of stuff. Blah 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 blah. What's going on? Why would people? Like people that I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that they said people were writing horrible things and all that stuff. So I just closed my phone and I went to bed. Then, of course, got up, went to college. I was in college throughout the day until this evening when we heard the unfortunate news that the singer Davido and his partner Chioma unfortunately lost their son, their baby son, who they just celebrated his third birthday, roughly about, you know, maybe 10 days ago or something. I don't know the exact timeline, but the boy just turned 3 and there was a big party and to do for him and all of that. And unfortunately, he drowned. Apparently, there was a pool that he drowned. From the reports that I heard today, some people that were in the house have been arrested. I'm like, okay, I don't understand why they're arresting anybody if it was an accident. And at the end of the day, you know, the parents are the ones who are supposed to be, responsible for their kids. So if someone is in the house, but then I don't know the story, I don't know what's going on. So apparently, some people have been allegedly arrested. I don't know how true that is. And yeah, it's just a horrible thing. So yeah, that's what's prompted. Although we've been talking about social, emotional intelligence on social media, I think this is sort of precipitated the talk. So before I go on, of course, I want to bring on my very first guest. Hello, howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, I have two guests already. I have Mr. H. Welcome, Mr. H.
Hello.
Hey, hello. How are you? How you doing?
Hi, thank you.
And then,
I'm fine.
I have a very special guest, a
I'm glad
first
to be
time
here.
guest.
Alpha.
I'm going to, I'm fine. Before I add that on, let me talk to you, Mr. H. So, how are you now?
Idea.
I do, oh, my brother.
Idea.
Oh, are you on the phone? So I'm bringing on a new guest, a first time guest, and that's Tolokwefa Bumi Oluborode.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
It's so nice to see you, especially that I just saw you right now.
Thank you.
Okay, so welcome to the show. Close the door of your room because I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, they'll be echoing. Okay, so close the hair. That way you are talking and nobody is hearing.
All
So,
right.
Mr. H, Mr. H, you're muted. Mr. H. Ah, Mr. H is using me to knock gist on phone.
I don't think she's hearing us.
No,
I
he
don't
can
think
hear
it's
us. Someone called him, so I think he had to go on the phone.
okay.
Okay. Anyways, so look, how have you been? First of all, tell us. You're a new student in the UK, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, and this is your first time in the country in the UK.
Yes.
So how are you finding the code? That's the number one question I want to ask
Hmm.
you.
As in, as
The code
in,
they teach you something.
ah, it's a very big experience, though. Mm.
You're now telling your friends in Nigeria that when you see somebody give you £10, you better be grateful because if you know the kind of codes
Code you.
that the West can collect that money.
I'm telling you, you are facing a lot. Yeah, it's not easy. The code is so. But
And the
thank God
snow
too.
hasn't even come down yet. So you're still walking on the road. Normally, you're not falling. You're still
Hey,
going to have where
hey.
snow is going to cover you from top to bottom.
Okay now. So you are scaring me now.
But do you know the funny thing? When the snow falls, it's not so cold. It is just before the snow falls that the cold is the worst. But once the snow
Okay.
falls, the temperature rises in a way.
Okay.
Mm. But I hope you're enjoying your time in the UK so far.
Sure. I'm enjoying myself.
Okay. Yeah. So when your friends say, I want to come and visit, would you encourage them or you say, no, stay in Nigeria?
I know I will encourage them to come so they can experience a lot of my experience. Yeah. They can experience a lot. So they can tell people much about UK, how the code is, how the weather, how the country is and everything. All those stuffs like that. So because
And I want to ask you, sorry, finish. I thought you had
so
finished. No, finish what you're saying.
I'm done.
Okay, I want to ask you a question, sort of a political question. So when you see that, there are people who, like politicians who have come to this country, you hear that the president came for checkup, you see how politicians fly abroad for holiday, and now you are seeing it, and then you look back at Nigeria they are coming from,
As
where they
in
return to after they've had the holiday. What do you think about the politicians? What do you think about all of that? So you come to this country, and you
you
live
come to
here.
this country to take care of yourself and you are leaving people people over there with those art with those how the country is. No, I feel sorry for them because they are putting people in trouble. A lot of people are suffering. So you now come to another country to come and take care of yourself. It sounds stupid and I won't be happy.
So they come to this country, they take care of themselves, then they go back to Nigeria and let
Yes,
other Nigerians continue the way they are. No change.
I sure now. It's not.
Okay. But let me see if I can still get Mr. H. I don't know what's happening with Mr. H. Mr. H.
It's
Hello. I don't know what's going on there, but okay. Anyways, because of the kind of response I've already gotten, I don't see this show lasting more than an hour, to be honest, because people had different things to say. But you and I were talking about this earlier today
Okay.
about the information that passed about Davido's son,
Yes.
this 3-year-old boy who unfortunately drowned. So, what is the latest information that you've heard so far about the case?
Mm, when I was awake this morning, I just saw that the boy. I just saw on my status that people are posting the video. My son are dead. I was like, this is nonsense news. It's not. I don't think it's real. But later, I checked my Instagram page to check, and I said,
Mm.
Davido's son was dead. Why? So I'm going through the all the stories since morning. The story was shock, sha. They all the nannies just leave the get by the baby. So he went to the pool side. I entered the pool. After some minutes, the boy was dead.
So there are nannies in the house, and none of the nannies were around.
Like 7 people are in the house with the boy. The parents are not around. I heard they are not in Lagos. They went to Ibadan, maybe for occasion or anything, sha. I don't know. So
Wow. So they just called them to say their son has died.
yes. And all the nannies
Jeez.
have been arrested. All the people in the house have been arrested since morning
Hmm.
because of the baby. The story was
All that arrest is still not going to
just
bring this boy back. That's the sad aspect.
very, very sad. Very, very.
Okay, so now we were talking earlier about the comments that
Okay.
people were writing. Why some people were like, ha, a small child, God have mercy. Some people were like, so serves him right. He found he felt it was more important to go to I didn't even know that that was what they were referring to, because some people were saying, no, he found it more important to go to a party, and I was like, if he goes out to a party, is that a crime? I didn't even know that it was out of the state.
No,
But
you
people
are.
were like saying all kinds of things,
They are
and
not in the
it brought
state.
me. Yeah, sorry, go on.
They are not in the state. According to the story, they are in Badon, not in Lagos. So they
And the
just
thing
called them
happened
this
in Lagos.
morning, maybe yesterday or last night, sha, or this morning, to tell them the news about the baby.
Wow.
So the story was
Okay, we have with us Mr. Ron. Mr. Ron is actually the producer of the show, but he's away from his desk. So I am sort of producing and everything, but I think he's here now. So maybe you'll be able to, take some of the reins. But okay, going back to, well, he's not even though he's on screen, I can't see his face, so I don't know whether he's here or not. Going back to the thing. Oh, hey, Mr. Ron and Society. I've been at Society and Mr. Ron. How
Hey,
you day?
I do.
How about you now?
I'm good. I just entered.
Okay, okay. Well, meet a new guest. This is the first time on the show.
Oh,
Mr. Stolulokwe actually.
hello,
And
Mr.
that
Lo-
is Mr. Ron over there.
good
So
evening,
we're
good
just
evening,
talking
good evening.
about this whole. Sorry, what did you say?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So we're just talking about this whole Davido and the passing of his kids situation, but really is not totally about Davido. I mean, of course, condolences. At the end of the day, a small child died, and is a tough thing. But the issue is, Tolulokpa and I were discussing earlier about the comments people were writing, that it was shocking. I was like, is humanity that bad? Now I understand a different aspect of a story. I didn't know any different aspect. To me, it was just like, even if you hate the guy, if the guy has done something, a small child that just died, an innocent small child, why like, at least give space. Let's at least 2 days, 3 days flow before you start to say all kinds of things. Because I was reading crazy stuff on the page. People were like, let us see how you marry Chioma now. Shebi Chioma was shouting up and down. She's the one that gave him a son. Blah blah blah. Where is the son now? The son is dead. And some people said that Davido himself is using all the people around him to do juju so that he can be successful. That look at the amounts of body counts of people that have died around him. All kinds of things. And some people were like, and so what? Is it the first person that somebody will die? Look at the band. Did the band die? Like, it was off. In fact, I feel sad for the band, because the band too has been dragged into it one way or the other now, whether he wanted it or not, because they are all referring back to the band. Maybe the band son too died from drowning. All these money misroad young artists who go and be buying pool, and meanwhile they don't know how to swim. Their children don't know how to swim, because like in the UK, from about 6 months, they start to toss babies into the pool. Like, oh yeah, we live on an island, you better know how to swim in case something happens. So they toss babies into the water to start teaching them how to swim. But in Nigeria, swimming is not part of our culture. We will sit inside one rubber something and be posing inside the pool saying that we are swimming. The fraction of people that can really really swim in Nigeria, they know plenty. Unless maybe that this Port Harcourt side, those ones, they are water babies. But Lagos and all of that side, they are not really swimmers. They just sit in a pool and look pretty and drink. They don't really swim. So it was just shocking that people basically did not give any qualm. They were saying whatever they wanted to say. And in this country, and I think the reason why it shocked me, and I'm going to admit, in this country, if you say something horrible on a public space like social media, and your boss or your company should find out, you can get sacked. Because they say you lack empathy, you don't have compassion, all kinds of things. They'll be like, if you are horrible like this outside, they don't want you to be associated with them. But in Nigeria, there really isn't any consequence. I don't think I've seen any consequence of writing horrible things about anybody on social media. And I just wonder, could that be the reason why that amount of venom comes out? So Ron, yes, tell us what you think. I called Ron and he disappeared.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, oh yeah.
It's unfortunate and it's tragic.
Very.
Such a thing will happen. And part of the emotional intelligence we are talking about is people should learn. This is a Nigerian problem. I notice that when something happens, we have a way of trying to force people to empathize or to feel how they feel towards anything. Now, this thing that happened is not something you wish on any parent or your enemies.
Mm.
Besides, if you know you feel hurt about it, please come out, share your condolences, empathize with the victims. I don't know, it could be a celebrity, it could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
After sharing your condolences, you step aside and keep it moving. I get worried when because I was watching before I came on my way I was watching Princess's response to something. She was being attacked. Princess was being attacked this
Yeah,
afternoon.
Princess. Yes, I sent her a message this afternoon.
No, she
She
was
was
being
being attacked.
people said that they've been waiting for her to send condolences that they didn't hear from her. And the poor lady was not by her phone the whole time. She was hustling during the day. She was
Abi,
just make ends meet for herself. She said she woke up very early, like 5 a.m., running
yes.
around trying to see what she can do for herself. That by the time it was almost midday, she just noticed that her phone was buzzing and she said, what's going on? That's when she found out about the tragedy that had just. But before then, people were already cursing her children that if this condolence is the same. And I'm like, come on, this is
What
becoming.
had happened was, sorry to break in, Ron. What had happened was, as she was going about her day, she saw Neptune Road. She saw a sign, Neptune Road, and DJ Neptune is her friend. So she was like, you know, when you just quickly send something and you continue with your day. She just took a picture of the road. I was like, shout out to DJ Neptune. Oh, I see you. See, you get streets. No come talk, say you don't get money. You know, that kind of thing. Like, don't come and say you don't have money. Oh. And she just did that and kept it moving. Did not even look at the phone. Only to see people blasting her, cursing her, saying all kinds of terrible things. Like, sure.
That's her own case is just one. Then there were some people who their own children had birthdays today. They were instructed not to post any photograph to celebrate their own.
By
Ah,
who? Who died and made these people king?
now, you see, again, we need to emphasize something. Something tragic happened. We understand, but we also need to understand that not everybody is a fan, right? And even
Not
if
even
you're not,
that. The world keeps moving.
no, I'm not. I don't want it to look like we don't understand the gravity of what happened to a human being, right? We understand, we know, we get it. But it you rubbish the empathy, you rubbish the goodwill by going to police and force other, because at the end of the day, you think you are doing the guy a favor, but these things you are doing will create some form of, and now people will start waking up and like, wait, oh, by the way, why my child did birthday, I cannot even celebrate my child's birthday. And then the lady actually called me to complain that they told her not to post her, they sent her a message not to share any photograph. I said, thank God my wedding anniversary was yesterday, I don't share photo finish, so I don't be cuckoo celebrity, nobody will attack me. I'm like, let's be sensible for once. The condolence is the condolence. It's a human being. I don't want to bring up other things because I don't want it to look like I'm insensitive. So I don't want to bring up
Mhm.
other things. But let us try as human beings. While we're empathizing with one people, let us do everything with intelligence, emotional intelligence. Somebody's birthday, allow them to do their birthday. They are not celebrating that somebody died, but the person gave birth on that
Please bear
day.
with me. My alarm is going off. Continue.
The person gave birth to his or her child on that day. So let's, even if they are, let us, for the purpose of who is this again? So for the purpose of this event, let's try and be accommodative in our expressions, right? What is our creator is the only one that can console and heal the hearts of those who have lost their child due to this swimming pool thing. And here in South Africa, there's a general rule like when you have a swimming pool in your house, you must cover it with that net. Some people have even gone to put sensors on their swimming pool. Once you enter the water, the motion, uh, the motion detector kicks in. Then you know
Mm.
that like some of your pharmacies or stores when you enter and you pass the sensor, you go, boop, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
People
Yeah.
have incorporated it into their pool. If anything enters the water, it will trigger. It depends on how you set it. If you set it to continuous alarm, it will ring. If you set it to beep once, it will ring. But I'm trying to think, how can there be so much maids and housekeepers and domestic stuff and this kind of tragedy? I'm sorry, nobody's God, but I'm just trying to phantom it that how did this happen, And I hope everybody learns. Again, I'll repeat what I repeated during the badges one. I hope everybody learns from this experience. If you're putting a pool, if you know, and again, it doesn't matter if the child can swim or not. Anything can.
Mhm.
The child could have
Yeah.
slipped and fell into the pool. So it
I
really
hit
doesn't.
the head.
Yes, it doesn't matter if the child can swim. So what I will always advise is that if you are rich, you are super rich like these guys, if you try and build a gate around it, I'll show you my complex swimming pool how it's built. There's railings around it and it's locked. Before you open it, the process to open and go and swim day long. And so if you know you are rich, do that. Put a gate there. but so that your children cannot climb. At least by the time your child don't reach 8 years old, 9 years old, you know say no fit drown. Now you know as you take reach the pool. But this, if you have a toddler at home, this pool security is you need it 100%. Please,
Because
I
these kids, I'm not a parent, but I've seen parents where they'll be like, "Ha, these children are escape artists." you know, you will do everything, and they'll still you're bouncing themselves out of sight. But we have Matarazzi. Mata, hello, Martha.
Hi, Abby. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
hi. Yes, thank you for joining us. I've missed you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are
Uh,
you? Hi,
wrong,
Mr.
I'm fine.
Ron.
what's wrong with your camera?
You sure
Hi.
want to see fine girl's face.
Oh, last part, the last time she came, they were saying, What's her number? Do you have her number? Did she leave her email? I mean, come and show your face. So I'm not doing PA for you today. Come and show your face. Come and show your
Leave
face.
Martha alone. Stop
Oh,
terrorizing Martha,
God.
Jare.
Doing
So,
PA.
Martha, what do you think about this whole emotional intelligence on social media? Specifics to Davido's situation and in general.
I think a lot of people, I just wonder sometimes how life is on Jupiter because things happen here and I just feel like I don't belong here because people are so cruel. People are so cruel. It's not it's not a
Mm,
learn it's not a learning experience, it's not anything. Like these fuckers are so quick. It could have happened in the bathroom, it could have happened in the kitchen. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Even
mm,
those nanny, like you can't imagine the torture. Like this has been so hard for me. It feels like a family member. You can't imagine
mm,
what those staff would feel. Do you get like, I mean, your own
mm,
child, do you understand? But somebody's child, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine the horror. It's terrible. Even the parents, like I can't imagine the guilt, feeling like, oh, I should have been there. But it's really just an accident. It could happen. My mother used to tell me the bathroom, like the bathroom is like what percentage she tell me like the large percentage of home accidents happen in the bathroom, like be careful. So anything could have happened even with my own child. Like I've had incidents. It just man is I don't know, his ancestors that are
Oh, no. Bathroom. I know 3 accidents that have killed people. Bathroom. That this
Me that
bathroom.
almost died is the one that I had, Nko.
I
Can't
don't.
remember where I had
so
splints for how many months.
Bathroom.
so
Hmm.
when people focus on the swimming pool thing, it just so happens that it was a pool. It could have been anything. I personally don't like to like dissect things when something like this when it happens because honestly, it could have been anything. It's just a very, very unfortunate accident event. Like it's terrible. Like people coming online to dissect, to blame, to like that's just cruel. Very, really, really cruel.
Okay, and I hear your view. Again, I'm just going on a general thing. Now, before I go on, Abifash,
What
baby girl of life, how are you?
wrong with that before?
So nice to see you. Have you finished your exams?
Well, I've passed for now, so
Yay, that's good. At least you can breathe some. Mhm. Okay, so going back, the thing is that like some of the comments I've read, some people are like, what, Davido himself is not like smelling of roses. He has done things to people, like really terrible things to people, and karma does not pick and select who is going to hurt. When it comes to get you, when it comes to bite you in the ass, it could be you, it could be your kid that pays for it, and blah blah blah. Some people said that. Some people said yes, just like you said. Some people said, oh, it's an accident. It could have happened anywhere. I said, but the responsibility of parenthood or of having guardians in a place is you try and eliminate the most obvious ways of having an accident. Like, okay, there's a slippery floor, you wash it, you clean, you make sure that it is no longer slippery. If there's a pool, you make sure you put something to make sure that, okay, it's not accessible to a toddler, especially because at that age, 3 years old, they're very curious, they want to taste everything, they want to see everything, they want to go everywhere, all that kind of stuff. That yes, it was a mistake, but it was a preventable mistake. What do you say to that, Martha? And then Abby, I want you, Mr. H, because you disappeared, I'm punishing you small. It's a lie. But I'll let Abby speak and then Mr. H will come on. So Abby, I want you to start thinking about your answer to that. So Martha, then Tolulokwe, I'll come back to you.
I feel like we really don't know the details. We don't know how what the pool, do you understand? So we can't really speculate. We don't know how the pool, what, do you understand, what's it called? What preventive, do you understand, what security measures or whatever they've done. We really don't know. We don't even know the exact details of the accident, how it happened. So this is all just speculation. I would like to think that somebody, do you understand, people like rich people go do you understand, do stops. Like, I don't even have, like, when I just had my kid, I was living like the small apartment. This just, I couldn't even afford to do all those covers, and so I would like to think that rich people, they will be able to afford. In fact, they will get somebody to come in and suits the whole place up out. So I really don't want to think. I don't know. Again, as I said, like I can't tell, because I really want to believe that they would have pulled all the stops, done whatever was necessary, but it's just, I don't know, sad.
Just
It's just a
unfortunate.
really sad, unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Abby, what are your thoughts on this, please?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, I think I
Thank
can
you, Martha. Sorry, Martha, thank you for that. I'm still coming back to you. Okay, Abby, sorry,
I think I
continue.
can understand from the people who are aggrieved, who something has happened to before, or who has issues with Davido. However, I also think that the issue of a child, if something happened to a child, is very sensitive, and it's something we all should kind of be very careful to say. Because a lot of people say, oh, as a parent, shut the heck up. Just shut up. Even if you have children, you see all these grandma that has to them like, oh yeah, it's because she's going to party. Because they have children now, they can't have a life. Because they have children now, even after having like 8-7 people inside the house. Come on. What things do happen? And I understand this so well, because something happened to my daughter when she was 4. And it was shocking because I was in the house. It didn't happen when the childminder was there. It happened when I was in the house. Now, as horrible as it may sound, people might be like, oh, yeah, it's because she went to work. But I went to work. I provided a nanny when I was going to work. I came back from work. I told the nanny that the nanny said she was leaving. I said, oh, you can leave. I'm in the house now. I'm the mom, for crying out loud. And I went to change. And then she told me, oh, mommy, can I play outside the garden? I was like, okay, that's fine. You can play outside the garden. That's behind the house. And she for some reason, they shut her, and I felt that she couldn't open, and she opened it. She opened the door, and she left the house, turned around, and went to the main road.
Hey!
Went to the main road, got on the bus. I wrote it. I was going to share it with you. I just thought, you know what? Went on the bus. The bus stopped, and she was 4. You've seen her before, Abby.
Yeah.
She's kind of very plump, and she was wearing a bombshell because she was inside the house. She was very singlet. So even at 4, you would have thought that maybe she's maybe 10 or 4 or 6, 8 or thereabout.
We can't hear you anymore.
You would think that she's about 4, she's 4, but you would think that she's about 8 or 10, thereabout. And then she went inside the bus, and I'm telling you, this happened within 5 to 10 minutes. Because all I did was off my clothes. And this is not the first time she was going to play. I'm saying backguarding because there are other parents, there are other children there. No one moved away. And this is a child that is always very afraid to go out alone. If she wants to go, mommy, she's very attached to me. How did she go out? So, and guess what? Before she was found by the bus driver, I have not realized that my daughter is missing. These are things that could happen to anyone. These are things that could happen to anyone. Now, in my head, I know that people were saying drowning and all of that. And I'm thinking, this child has been swimming for a while. Is it really drowning? We were here when the family of a pastor, they went to Spain for holiday. And something happened. A 9-year-old died in the pool, and a 16-year-old died in the pool. So sometimes people just say something. If their parents know that they don't know how to swim, they probably not take them there. But the child was swimming. Something happened, and maybe the 16-year-old jumped inside or something, and both of them, they were dead. Accidents do happen. And I think as human beings, really, some people said as a man, some people say as a woman, but I think as a human being, it might be difficult for us to cope with things like this, but mishaps do happen. Evil things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. If you're a Christian, the Bible says that that in this world we will see tribulations. If you're a Muslim, I'm sure there's something they've told you.
Religion into all this. Just continue.
No. I said if is a conditional statement.
I don't like the condition. No religion. Continue.
I know where you're going. Run, leave me, though. Leave me, still hold for this. I'm just saying that we all have something that we call, even if you are doing Shango or Batala, anything, your faith or whatever spirituality that you're going for is telling you something. It's teaching you about patience, teaching you about that things are going to happen to you. None of the spirituality or none of the faith is going to tell you that, okay, your life is going to be smooth from whatever to whatever. We all have what we're battling. And so when things happen, we should just look at it from the empathy side of things. Now, if I had had issues with Davido, for instance, and things like this happen, it depends on my person and how I'm going to take it. So we have to look at it from the perspective of what has happened to this person. Is this person still grieving as well? You understand what I mean? So as much as I might not be able to spill that if I'm the one that has happened to, but I'm only saying it because I'm not in that situation. I'm not I'm not the one that they slap. If they slap me and something happened to the person that slapped me, it will only take the grace of God for me to say that I'm talking for me. It will take the grace of God for me to say, you know what? I know this person has hurt me so bad, but you know what? I'm still going to do what is humanly right to do. So I'm not to respect people. We heal differently. We work differently.
Yes.
It will take us forever. And so for the people typing nonsense, but how will I say? I cannot understand them. But there are some people, they are just rich people haters. And they're
Yeah,
very,
can't
they are
stand the
kind
fact
of
that
lost. I don't know what English to call them. I'm sure there's a word for them, that they just hate the fact of saying that this is a rich person. Everything that happens to them is their fault. Now, on the issue of maybe there's cultism and all of that, or maybe fetish, maybe there is fetish in this issue. Nothing can be ruled out. However, we are not Judge Judy. We are not the people that is going to say this is what this person see or this person know. But we know that there's nothing impossible. We know that people can go to several lengths to do several things. I have a word for the pastor that is saying nonsense, that he saw it and whatever. He should go and see something about Nigeria. He should just shut up.
Oh,
And
a
see
pastor said they saw something. What did they see?
the pastor wrote on his wall, and he actually did a video to say that He saw Davido's child that something was going to happen, and I'm not kidding. He said it, and he put it on his wall, and
You
people
don't
brought
open
it out.
office. You don't open office. So it needs now they'll come and invite him now so that they'll give him
So,
money.
he now, after the death, he now said, "Oh, God
Who
told
is this?
him."
What's his name?
I don't know his name. He's one pastor like that. If you Google it, so a pastor said that anyway. And he's a young pastor. He said, "Oh, if he had said it, they would have said he's looking for money, he's doing da 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 da, and all of that." And I'm challenging the pastor, please and please find a solution to Nigeria. Tell us the
Abi?
solution. Tell us the problem. Tell us the solution. You know,
His,
if
anoint,
God had got-
his anointing does not cover all Nigeria. It's only
no, as a matter of fact, in that revelation that he mentioned, it was very specific. It was very specific about Davido's son before that incident
So why is
happened.
the anointing not covering the whole Nigeria? Why is it?
No, their anointing is always special. It's about people and their unfortunate incidents. It doesn't cover good things. It doesn't cover solution. It doesn't cover how a lot of Nigerian young children can become better. It doesn't cover a solution that they can give to the president to say that we have a problem to this Boko Haram. This is a solution to them. We have a problem for all the people scattering Nigeria. There is going to be whatever explosion that happens today. They don't have all those solutions. I think people should just get busy. That's all.
That's a very, very important and straightforward thoughts there. Now, Tolu, I'm coming to you, but I just want to ask Mr. H. So, Ron said something about people being told not to celebrate their kid's birthday because Davido lost his son, and that is disrespectful. You have two daughters. Let's imagine that today was their birthday, and then someone sends you and say, I know today is your children's birthday, but you know Davido lost his son, so please don't post anything, don't put pictures of your children. What would be your answer?
Yeah. Good day, everybody. And it's a very
Sorry,
sad.
please. Sorry, let me clarify.
Okay. Martha, yes, go on.
Like random people on the internet are telling random people to not celebrate, or is this like specific people close to him,
No,
or
random people telling random people not to celebrate their kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah. As I was saying just now, it's a very very sad thing that has happened. And as I said, like I said, it can happen to anybody. But the damage could have been minimized. And as a parent, you need to, and if anybody tell me that, well, next week Wednesday is my birthday, so whether the rain comes, fall, or I'm going to celebrate my kids on my birthday. So nobody can stop me from saying somebody died. Life goes on.
You can't.
So
We have
yeah,
2 weeks of money. 2 weeks of money. You can't celebrate your birthday. My birthday
you
is
said
in
what?
2. My birthday is in 2 days' time. I can't celebrate, so we have to observe these 2 weeks.
Well, that's your own business. That's your own cup of tea. You concern anybody.
Now
So,
but they can't cause fight like this.
so
Let us be
So,
coming down.
so the thing is that this kind of tragedy can happen to anybody, can happen to any family. But I believe that it can be avoided. It can be avoided. And I'm not blaming anybody. And kids as they are, you can put your kids here now and turn your back, and the next thing, piam, you don't know where they are anymore. They run out, or things like that. So I think that's probably what happened. And maybe they weren't, because even in a class, how many kids can you put your eyes on? But another thing is that, like I said, like people were saying, and my own candid opinion, Davido is well traveled. He's really well traveled all over the whole world, and he sees what is obtainable. The problem with Nigeria that I see is that we go to other places, we see what is working for them, and we can't implement it in our own land. That is a problem we have in our country, because everybody was saying this. I don't blame anybody. It can happen to anybody, and it's very very sad. And they said the maids were arrested and interrogated. Yeah, like anywhere in the world, they need to do an inquest. They need to know exactly what happened. If there's CCTV camera there, and I think it's negligence. I think it's negligence in the
Hold
part
on,
of
Ron.
the. I think it's negligence in the part of the people that were supposed to take care of the kid, because I know that for Davido's house there will probably be a lot of people there because it's always bustling with people and things like that. But again, another thing is that anywhere I go, that there are swimming pool there with kids, they used to have these nets. My brother has his own net, this blue net to cover the place up. My brother's kids are falling inside the swimming pool several times when we are there, but they fall on the net and the net bounces them out everywhere you go. So I should think that things like that should be first thing. When you're doing a pool, there should be a policy. If you're having a pool, you must have a net to cover because of kids. Because obviously, see what happened to the band's son too, that died maybe last year. I don't know when. It's the same thing, you know. And again, if I would have a pool in my house, I wouldn't want to have it because I don't even like water. I can't swim, so I have that phobia. So it's very, very sad what happened. And for people to come to the internet to begin to say negative things, I'm so disappointed at them. Where is humanity, for Christ's sake? This person lost a child, whether somebody is negligent or it's a mistake. It can happen to anybody. You can wake up in the morning and there's no more there. So for me, it's a lesson for everybody that I see. It's a lesson for everybody to learn. Even everybody that have kids. Our sister Apache was saying that the kid ran out of the house, and probably maybe she's just undressing or maybe she's just looking somewhere. That's kids for you. They play all around. They get excited, But at the end of the day, as we adults, as parents, we must put extra precaution in all these things. Even sometimes when you're even in your car, child lock. Some parents forget to put child lock, and your child will just open the door and fly out. I've seen it before when a child will fly out of the car because they forgot to put the child lock. Sometimes children too. Sometimes you put them at the back seat, you see them in the front seat. All these things, we just need to be extra careful. We don't know the day the devil will come will come alive, but we just need to be careful. But in social network, trying to, people, that's one thing about Nigerians. They come to, some of them want to try to start making money now. Prophecy start, everybody just start to want to cash in on the tragic event. It's so shameful on them. And again, we shouldn't forget, sometimes you could have a dream about something that is going to happen to another person. It's happened. This happens. This thing happens. This thing that I'm saying now has happened to me. Somebody that is just somebody's girlfriend dreamt something about me, like a long time ago, in 2011. And I thought it was just a joke, just like normal as the guy was saying. It could be true. And I said, no, this kind of dream. The person came to me. I was not close to the person. The person said, look, I had this dream about you. And that. I just laughed over it. My dear, this thing came to pass. So sometimes it happens. But sometimes when you hear things like that, you need to you tell the person and pray over it, because there's a God that watches over us. And sometimes he won't send an angel to come and tell you this. He will send somebody, but it's for you to take that caution. And I'm
Mr.
putting
H, sorry to break in. No.
Yeah.
This one, when it comes to all these pastors that see things when something has happened, and I saw it because let's go back into the Bible, right? And I know no Bible reach Mr. Ron, but at least I remember small way they teach us that time. There was a pastor, I can't tell you the exact passage, but there was a priest that was sent by God to go and deliver a message, right?
Yes.
And he decided to, like he was sent, go there straight and go and deliver the message. Then another person came and said, no, come and stay in the house. I'm a prophet. Shebi is the same God that is sending you, that sent me to come and meet you, come and relax in our house. And he ended up being, he was condemned for it. I think he got torn by lions or something because he didn't go and deliver the message that he was meant to deliver. How can God, you say you're a prophet, you're a priest or a pastor or whatever. God gives you a dream about somebody. Say, I didn't say it because I didn't want people to say I was looking for money. Is it them that you should be afraid of, or the God that sent you? Do you understand what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, Abby, in the kind of world that we are now, everybody just like, okay, just let me just give an example.
Kayode, please
That
come
the
back.
next
Oh,
year,
I wasn't ignoring you.
let me just put this out there. This next year election that is coming, there is no time you open Facebook that somebody is not prophesying. This one is going to die. This one will not make it. That will not make it. This one will win. That one is not make. So at the end of the day, just like where in South Africa here, it's hardly you see that a pastor or a church will come out and say X or Z president, somebody will win. They don't interfere with politics. Because politics is a very dirty game. You don't interfere. So when people come out and they say this and it doesn't come to pass, they become a liar. Like the other, some of them begin to make fun. Like the other one, I said a football team is going to win and he did not win. Like Taribo West that said Donald Trump is going to win, he did not win. All these things has accumulated. So when people come out and say things, people don't even believe it anymore. People are tired. So that is what is happening. The guy could be right, he saw it, but when he say, if I say it now, they don't carry come. They go say I'm a liar. That is what happened to the guy. You understand? And like exactly what the guy said. It might be true, it might not be true. Or we need to be careful. But I'm putting it out there as parents. Please, please, and please, and please. If you have a swimming pool in your house, please get the net to cover the swimming pool as from today. Because don't say it happened to this thing, it cannot happen to me. It can happen to
Mr.
anybody.
H, Mr. H, do you know that they don't have a net? Do you know that?
They don't have a net. How?
I was going to say
Do you
that.
know this suggestion or be advice you're giving? Do you know that they don't already have these measures?
Look, let me tell you something that you need to know. It's a standard thing anywhere in the world. Here,
No,
That's why I'm asking you now.
No, the question they're
Do you know
asking.
that I'm asking, do you know that Davido
if
doesn't have that in his house already? Can
if
you
he has
say
the
that?
net, yeah. Well, I can't see that. But if you have the net, when it's not in
So
use,
that's
you
what I'm
cover it
saying
up.
now. Let's leave all this
But that's the
advice
thing, we
and stuff.
don't
It's a
know. We don't know whether
No, that
we
is
don't
no.
it
It is
helps.
know.
not. No, it's not an advice.
So
It's what should be done anywhere in
let's
the
leave
world.
all this
No,
advice and
it
stuff.
is
It's
Okay,
not a
no,
lesson.
it
A
is
Mr.
a
terrible
H.
policy. Let me tell you,
Wait,
it's a
Mr.
let me give an example.
a
My last note.
terrible thing happened.
Let me tell you where I am now. I took my daughters to the clinic today. They have a policy anywhere you go. When you give birth to a child, they give you a paper. That book they give it to you. It has time for you to take your daughter to the clinic to take injection. It's natural. It is a fixed thing. They should fix it anywhere in like now. They can make it as a policy. Take it to the House of Rep. If you are building
Mr.
this, you
H.
must get that net. It's compulsory that you can save a life. It's not that whether you get net or you don't get net. If you're not using the swimming pool, you cover it. Simple. Whether you're using it or not, you cover it. It must be a policy,
oh,
and it will save lives. That's what I'm
Mr.
saying.
Wait.
Yeah.
Mr. The question is simple. Do you know if they had the net? The answer is as equally as simple as the question. If there was a net, no child would drown if there's a net active. It's that simple. I don't
see,
know why you're sitting around.
But you
Mr.
don't know that. You don't
Ron,
know that.
Hold
Abby
on.
Wait,
Abby
wait.
has said
Okay,
how there was a gate
everybody,
in
let's
her
let's
house,
come.
yet she didn't know.
Hello?
You're listening.
See what I'm saying, right? I would
Mm.
hate for instance my child falls rules off the bed. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
For instance,
Yeah.
my child rolls off the bed or something, do you understand? Falls down and hits his head and has an injury, and then someone is saying this should be a lesson. Do you think that I kept my child to do you understand what I'm saying? It's very hard for me listening to this. Like it's really
It's not the same
I
scenario.
don't know. Even whole sub
Martha, I
I'll
think
just take a break and the whole conversation is very difficult for me.
Oh, okay.
Martha, I really apologize, but let me clarify something. I think when Mr. H is saying a lesson, he's not saying a lesson to Davido. He's saying to other parents that when you see a situation,
But
you learn from it.
Abby,
So
Abby, what
because
parent? This is exactly what I'm saying. It's not a teaching moment. It's a mistake that happened. It's not a teaching moment. It's just a sad. thing that happened.
Yes,
I
it
don't know. I
is.
don't see how you think that as a parent, like you don't already make all of this what's it called, adjustments or
Yeah, not
whatever from
about.
when you're pregnant with your child. You're already thinking, oh, I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
I'm
No,
so
Martha, I
I'm
get what you're
sorry
saying,
that
but
I don't know. Maybe I'm just
no,
being.
let me explain it. Let me share something. Okay, I live in a disability house because of my ill health, and my bathroom is supposed to have several things in it and some mats on the floor. But for over a year, I've been using the bathroom without the mats. I've just been using it like that. Now I know I should put it there, but I was like, I sit down to shower. I don't really stand up, so everything is fine. Kiniko, kiniko. The one day that I don't know the Jeon that entered my brain that told me, stand up and wash your leg. If you see the way I somersaulted, in fact, that I'm alive is a miracle. And so when I was like, whoa, that was a mistake, but it was something that I had to learn from. That the very as soon as I came back from the hospital and everything, guess the first thing I went to do? I went to go and get mats. And then my friend who called me and was saying, how you feel? I said, I hope you have mats in your bathroom. So I was asking her, I hope you have maths so you don't have the same experience as me. So it's not like, oh, take a lesson. Of course, we all agree it's an accident. It can happen to anybody, but you try as much as possible to prevent accidents happening. Of course, you don't stop them, but you do every prevention. And even every prevention doesn't mean that it won't happen. However, there are some people who never even occurred to them. Maybe they even have a little stream near their house. They don't have a pool, but they have a stream. Maybe they have one small gutter. It's never occurred to them. Now they're thinking, okay, oh, because these children, they can just do fruit like that and just next thing. So it's not like, oh, it's a teachable moment, so I use this one to teach or whatever, but it's a case of there are many ways of learning something. So I think that's what Mr. H is trying to say there.
And,
So
and
but
also, and before Mr. H continues, also, safety policies and guidelines are actually formulated based on accidents like this. That's when you're working in a working environment, all the HSCs that they do is always a preventive measure based on what has happened in the past or what they foresee to happen in the past. And I'll give you a classical example. This is not the first time this has happened. It's happened to the Banji's child before. So there's a precedence to this discussion. Now, you were saying something about whether you know or not the net. In defense of Mr. H, the truth is, and this is the honest truth, once there's a net installed, and I like that he gave an example that his brother's net is on. I've seen it. I've been to his brother's house a couple of times. All over Cape Town, when you have children and toddlers, you need to have a net over the pool. It's standard. Everybody has a net over the pool. The reason being that you can't control children. You might think you are protecting your child now, you are watching it. The moment that split second, you just come out your eye, your pikin don't work out, they go. The child is doing his own thing. So, because we are not omnipresent or everywhere, what
only
we can
sign.
uh, what we can do is to at least this small one. Now, in the case of Davido, because what I read, I beg you, I'm going by what I read though. I saw that he has maids in the house, he has cooks in the house, he even has security. Now, aside the security, he has people who always chill in the house, as you know, is Alaye in that area. He has people
Mm.
in the house. So now we are even going with the argument that maybe he put it, or maybe he did not put it. Nobody knows. But the issue here is that everybody is still trying to understand how did this child bypass everybody to where the pool is, because somebody who
Hey,
has
is it children that you are doing like that?
somebody who has been to his house was trying to describe where the pool is and where the house is. So my own is that the simple solution is either you put that railing. The lesson here is that what has happened has happened. We can't bring him back. It's tragic. But for those still listening, if you have a pool in the house, either you put the railings with gates or you put the net. Moving forward, we can't bring back what has happened, but let's move forward and say, okay, fine.
Yes. So I was going to ask Tolu Lope. Unfortunately, her internet, which happens to be the same internet that no Martha, please don't apologize. Completely understand. It's fine. I mean, we all are reacting to the story in different ways. So I completely understand. You're a parent and you just find it tough. I completely get that. Um,
Abby was
yeah.
actually saying non-religious before she was not heard.
Nonsense.
Eh?
Abby was saying something non-religious while we were arguing. We
Oh,
didn't.
okay. Sorry, Tolu. I'll come back to you. Oh yeah, Abby,
No,
finish,
I
please.
was just saying that, like Martha said, there must have been anything there to prevent this particular birth. And I am not only looking at the child drowning himself or whatever, I'm looking at different possibilities. There are people in the house. There are people that could have carried out that mission, do something to the child, and then throw the child inside the water. Now, this child started swimming at a very early age, meaning that the child has a bit of whatever on how to be inside this water for a while at least. Okay, so if the story of the nanny that was just received the call for a split of seconds, so we heard, and then she came back, and then the child is inside the water. It could be that somebody inside that house that they have not even asked questions has done something to the child, and they quickly throw because see, when Whitney Austin when she died. And when the daughter died, there was like a similarity to pattern. So there are people who understand this pattern already and they can cover up these things to make it look like it's a negligent, it's something that, because I'm looking at it as a parent and also a celebrity that understand that Pulo has, killed one child before because that one, the way they described it was quite very honest mistake and all of it that could happen to anyone.
Mhm.
But with this one, I just think that it was a planned thing. They knew they were not in the city. They knew the people inside the house. So it's like an inside thing. I wouldn't believe that all the 8 people, whatever, how many of them in that house, does not know something that happened to that child. Maybe there's something they are not telling us. So looking at it, and this is me just not looking at somebody saying that the child just fell inside water. No. How did the child fell inside water? What happened? Was he going around and he was bored and he now went inside the water? What happened? Did someone push the child there? What really happened? Because there's difference. If my child wants to go inside swimming now, she knows that she can't just go with the normal clothes that she's wearing at home. It has to change. So if the child was not planned to go inside pool prior to then, the child can't just flow inside water. I'm thinking of creativity now. He can't just go inside water with his own house clothes without getting prepared as if he wants to go and
I
swim.
I will actually implore us not to make all this kind of analysis. We
No, I'm
weren't
not
there, we
making
don't know.
analysis. I'm just saying when things happen, we can't just be going the way that everyone is going. We have to kind of say that anything could have happened.
This
The
Yeah,
example,
that we've all
the
agreed on that. Yeah.
the prevention or whatever could have been there. Something could have prevented it, but what else could have happened?
Abby,
And that's how you can analyze something. What else could have been the cause? Sorry, go on.
Abby, first, this exam is making you think very deep, and I'm like your head there. You're on something. You're on.
No, I'm
We,
not saying, see, there's something about us, Africans generally. When the moment we start thinking deep, you hear somebody telling you that, oh no, don't think far. It could happen. And that's why I said when people said that maybe this is fetish, it could be fetish. We
You know
can't
why?
we can't
You
rule
know,
all of those things out.
it's only black people that something tragic like this will happen, and they'll tell somebody to shut up and be crying. If it's
But
to you,
we can't shut up. We can think about because it's the truth.
you
It's
know
the
that
truth
it
that you
happened.
know.
Now neighbor, now you go call police, say make them investigate this thing. Your neighbor, not even you, the parent. Somebody that is unrelated to the child will make sure that investigation is carried out. We are the only ones that when something will happen, we start bringing nonsensical sentiments and don't investigate. And maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
Nobody is asking anybody to not investigate. Oh, I'm just saying that why don't we wait for this investigation? At least these are people with plenty of money who have the power. Instead
We are
of all
just
this speculation of it is fetish, it is
no,
plan
see,
work, It
See,
is this.
that's one thing. We all have right to speculate anything that we speculate, but we are not
Oh,
sure.
definitely. No, I'm
Even
just saying
when the
on
child,
this show, I don't
no,
want.
even when the child, when we first saw the rumor or wherever it is, they said allegedly. Allegedly, they said it was because we're not there. They said this child allegedly drowned. But what else? In the case of crime, if anything happens, what else could have happened? People think outside the box, but we can't unless we are there and we could see the result. You understand what I mean? We can't actually say, oh, this is what happened. Even when they come to us and say the child drowned, that's the story we were told. But the people that this thing happened to will have that info. That's what we
We
are
should
saying.
learn to be suspicious and introspective. You understand? We need to
Anything.
have culture of when something happens because of culture or tradition or because of somebody's feeling. Just allow the course, allow the system to take its course. You understand? In this case, it's open to many variations, right?
Mhm.
Until we get, let me tell you why we should be doing this. By now, Habi, you should have learned lesson from that Sylvester case. Remember how the case started and your position, and I told you that chill. Let's get to the bottom
From
of this.
what case?
I remember that child that they said that they killed in school.
You
I
call
remember
it.
that they said that they did cult and they killed the boy in one private school. Remember?
Okay,
Remember
yes, I remember this case. Yeah.
the discussion that I told you, leave this matter. We will get to the bottom later. You said no, that everybody. I said no, wait, we will get there. Always leave the channel open. The truth will come out eventually. Leave it open. Let's not move with the flow. Allow the course, every dot, any I to be dotted, every T to be. Let everybody do their job. Then they come and tell us, see us work out. Then finally, all of us,
And that's
because
what I'm saying. I'm not saying nobody shouldn't think or speculate or whatever. I'm just saying on the show right now, that really isn't the topic. The topic isn't about speculation, it's about social media, yeah,
no,
emotional intelligence on social media.
no.
Eh?
He
For
was
once,
playing.
the internet is on my side and he hooked Ron's mouth. The internet is on my side.
Wait.
Oh my god, the internet has disgraced me again.
What she's saying is that she's not saying that we should, all of us should believe it. She's just saying that let us not follow the mass, the general public. Let's wait for the system to take it.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard all this. I was one who even said it that I had read the different comments that some people said this, some people said that. So I'm not disputing that those thoughts are out there. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is, fine, let whoever wants to dispute or say it is fetish. But as that boy died yesterday, and as of yesterday, not barely 3 hours after the boy had died, or 4 or 5 hours after the people were already like, this one, you like, come on. At the end of the day, these are people who are kicking themselves. They're in a state of shock, they're in disbelief. They most
Okay,
likely have to figure out a way to come back to Lagos.
let's
All kinds of stuff.
after party. Let's discuss it after party. Since
Can
you
I,
have come.
can I say something, please? Can I quickly say something before we continue?
Yeah.
Abby, and I'm sorry to say this. I think the last time we went to Nigeria must have been a long time. People are
I said
actually
it was
jobless.
2008.
Yeah, people are actually jobless. They don't have anything to do. They don't have something to discuss. Data is like a big deal, and I mean that with all sincerity, respectfully. They don't have, they've taken out light. Just imagine yourself. Picture it if you can't remember. Picture it. Don't laugh. This is not a laughing matter. Just picture if you can't remember that you're in the house and they took light. They've taken the light since morning, and there's no one you can pass that aggression to. Your dad is there shouting, your mom is there shouting, and then there's this story that you can jump on and then you can show your anger, and there is something you can vex on, and this is you using your data. This is you using your effing data. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing.
But okay, Abby, but you do know that in the UK,
Yeah.
if you go and write something stupid on
Mhm.
social media,
Hey,
my sister is here. My sister is here. No, In fact, I want to dance. I want to dance. I'm coming to you, Nana. So basically, but what I've
You're
even
saying
forgot what I was saying.
in the UK, you're saying if it is
Yes,
in the UK.
in the UK, if something happens that doesn't even have anything to do with your office, and you go and write something stupid because it's my data, I can write whatever I want to write.
I have
And
answer.
wait, and someone sees it and they feel that what you've written is so derogatory, it can cause problems if you are associated with that company. What do you think that company is going to do to you?
Can I say something? Are the people in the
What?
UK, are they that hungry like the people in Nigeria? Why do we always like to compare all
I
of this
will
thing? Why?
Well,
Are
no,
they
you said it. No, you said it rightly. It's been a long time I've been to Nigeria, so me, I'm just.
You've lose touch with the reality that people have different things that is bothering them. They are angered. I went to make my hair in the salon. Not this one. Okay, when it was longer. I went to make my hair in the salon, and this boy was constantly for more than 2 hours. Well, I have whatever passion for people, really. So it was constant for 2 hours. He was telling me what the great grandmother did, how their dad was an asshole. I was for 2 hours. I am a stranger. People are hot, people are bitter. There's so many things wrong with people. And so they're looking for where to put their frustration. And that's why I wouldn't go to Nigeria and go and be showing up like I've just come from the UK. It's nothing. So when I go there, I'm gonna be like you, my regular person. In the streets, in the hotel that I was, everybody looking at me. They can't even. By the time I realized that some people are looking at me, I was just talking as if I was in Abuja, like I just came from Abuja. So it wasn't like, okay, I'm not part of you. I'm like, come now, sit down. Do you want me to buy you a drink? Did it? A drink for her. I bought drink. I was sitting down, listening to them as though by the time I was leaving, I was already a champion in that street, even though I've just come there as a lodger.
Oh no, but in fairness, the hair salon is a good place to share rumors and personal feelings.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that if you don't understand it, somebody is coming with you. You can get there and be moody and be like, okay, the people don't talk like this in the UK. People don't talk like people can talk like that. That's Africa, for crying out loud. Something is wrong.
Okay, but because it is Africa and people are hurt and people are looking for where to put their frustration, should then the humanity be thrown away because people are hurt and people have data and they can do whatever they want to say with their data, so they can be speaking as if they are mad?
That is the point.
No, that's the point of this.
Let me not ask you. If you were the one there that you've been hungry and something has wrong, are you not going to be mad?
No, I'm not going to. I won't lose my humanity. I lived in Nigeria for a long time. I never lost my humanity. When I was earning 20,000 naira, while other people were earning more than me, I never lost my humanity.
This is what we are
kind
saying.
of hunger can push me to that
all
kind
I'm
of thing.
saying is this: you can't rationalize people's way, the way that people are going to feel about something. We can't say, oh, if this thing happened, people are supposed to be thinking this way. You're supposed to cry out.
I'm not saying everybody's supposed to be thinking the one way, but come on. We said the world is horrible enough.
The people who are leaders here and the people who are leaders over there, what are their priorities? Are they the person that is going to check?
So we need leaders to tell us to think like human beings.
Now,
we need leaders to tell us to think like people.
Now, the people who are going to check what you put on Twitter, they're going to. If your manager or your leader is the one writing something, if somebody that's a manager or leader at your workplace is the one writing something, when your employer writes, who is going to check who? Like it might sound like I'm like I'm taking on their whatever. I'm just saying that sometimes our people, there's a lot wrong with us. Somebody said it many years ago. He said a lot of us are mad, and they're not joking. Madness, but
Did you say a lot of Nigerians are good?
Okay, well, Abby, let me bring on Tolu because I've been trying to get her on for a while.
So,
No, Tolu, I've been putting Tolu on hold since. I'll bring Nana on. Let me just so Tolu, I just want to ask you a simple question because we were talking about exactly what Abby's talking about now. And I was like, now waiting. Every small thing that happens, no, is fetish, is this, is that. But let's even put that aside. I want to ask you the same question I asked Mr. H. You have 2 children. So if imagine, let's say today
Yes.
was the day where it was their best day and everything, and somebody you don't know from Madam now writes and say, because Davido's child died, though. Oh yeah, you too, you must not celebrate your children. You must put out a
That is
candle and say,
no,
sorry, what
it's
did you
not
say?
possible.
It's not
It's not
possible.
possible.
Don't you love Davido and his music?
You'll
I love
cancel you on the
Davido, but Davido is not my. It's not possible. Tomorrow is my birthday, rather. So I will
It's
celebrate it
true.
anyhow.
Tomorrow is her birthday. How are you going to do your birthday now? Since
according to my time, sir, tomorrow is
Uh-uh.
Mhm. And as we are talking serious sorry, somebody is telling us to go and find sex in the city. So you see everybody and what is paining them. Okay, Nana, I'm sure you've been listening. You've been listening, and Nana took off. Nana, come back, oh.
Jesus!
Where is Nana? So oh
okay.
wait, let me see. She's back. Okay, hey, Adia, how are you?
I'm fine. How you
It's so nice to see your face.
doing? Same here. I didn't know I was going to appear. This is the first time joining the stream here, and I will have put on makeup.
No, we don't.
You look gorgeous. You look gorgeous. I
Thank you.
played a word play and you did not catch it. I said I caught Atijo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Our host a show called Atijo. So that's why I was using that with that.
How
Okay,
are you
so
all
I'm sure you
doing?
We don't allow makeup in the program.
what kind of nonsense we don't allow. He says that me I look like a monkey when I don't use
I did
makeup.
say, I say you look like a widow mourning. I did
Will you
say
shut
that.
up your mouth and not talk that in outside?
That's
Okay, Nana, you've been listening. You've been listening. So please tell us your views about everything we've been talking about.
Yeah, I joined up when Hebi was talking, and she was talking
Okay.
about being in Nigeria and all that. That's the point. I joined up.
Okay. Yes.
okay.
So very much like Herbie. Whenever I go to Nigeria, I just like I belong. Immediately. Immediately I belong. I mean, I don't even want to stand out. I don't even want anybody to know I'm out of the country at any time or anything because I'm from Kano. And when I go to Nigeria, I'm usually in Kano. Kano has a very high level of kidnapping. You know, when kidnap me,
Mm.
I beg. I don't fish out. So, so I belong. But back according to the topic, which I believe is about
Social
emotional intelligence,
emotional intelligence. Yes.
a lot of us are, regardless of where we live, because I live in the United States, and I would say maybe because of the awareness of um,
Mental health.
mental health, yes, challenges, we're a little bit more conscious of what we say, what we do, and all of that. Better than people who like all the time they're in Nigeria and they're not so open. Because when you talk about mental health in Nigeria, that means you're mad. Go, it's simple. But
It's changing slowly,
I
but
would
it's
say it's
changing.
the same thing. I would generally say it's the same thing. Both places. It's just the personality. Who is the person talking? Who is the person writing? Regardless of where you live. Like Abby, what you said, that yes, even when you're broke and all that, I've been down and out too in Nigeria, and I never lost my personality. I've always tried to put myself in the other person's shoes. So before I say something, or before I do something, I'll think, how would I feel if I was the person at the receiving end? And that
Exactly.
always, informs whatever I say or do. And another thing is on social media, being in the United States, I found that there are a lot of stalkers. There are some crazy people that you write something and it doesn't even make sense to them, and next thing you end up with a bullet in your head. So I think regardless of where we are, we ought to be emotionally intelligent, because you don't know what that person reading what you wrote has gone through for that day. There are people are high, the people on the suicide line, ready to commit suicide at every. We didn't used to commit suicide in Nigeria before. Nigerians were not known for committing suicide, but look at the rate of suicide being committed in Nigeria is appalling. Everybody has an issue. So it's just like, I mean, you don't know what you will say, what the person will read, that will just be that final straw for that person. So
and
yes,
because you have an issue, sorry, Nana, because you have an issue, doesn't now mean that you now turn to a stupid person and just be opening your mouth and talking rubbish because, oh, I'm angry and I have data and I want to flex that I'm angry.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Somebody can come to your house and kill you for your stupid anger.
That's the truth. Someone will kill you. Someone can kill you for what you say. Someone can hurt people. I don't know if you've watched this movie called Unhinged.
No, I don't watch things like that. I beg.
No, this one you would not even. I'm not even going to give spoilers, but something as little as telling someone ahead of you that the light has turned to green. Man, me move. I'm in a hurry now. Move, and you just honk. Something as little as that could cause your whole family to die.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know what somebody's going through. So that's why it's very important we mind what we say and we just sympathize. Generally, I think that everybody's going through something, and just mind what you say. And you're going through something. I mean, everybody's going through something too.
See, you're something safe.
That's it.
Continue.
That's it for me. Let me not talk too much. You know me now.
Let me share something. She brought up something now that I've never shared yet. So, like 3 years ago, I was in a cab. I was with this. I like using the cab because it's an Igbo guy.
Nana, don't go.
I'm still here.
Okay,
we're not seeing your face again. Anyway, so I entered the cab. So we're coming from somewhere. So as soon as I entered, I noticed he tuned the radio, and he tuned it to Radio Biafra. So the entire thing I was hearing was Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast. After like 5 minutes, after I couldn't bear this thing, because he knew that I was also Igbo. And I told him, Oga, just reduce this volume. When I come down, you can. He said, no, that I should listen to the plan and everything. So he forced me to start talking. Now you know me now. Once it comes to all these kind of things, I'll just engage you. So after a while, I noticed that for every nonsense he was trying to push out, I was blocking and giving him evidence of the falsehood of what he was doing. Guess what? Middle of the highway, the guy started losing the school and shouting. As he was yelling, say this Uber driver parked me for middle of express road.
Hey, so make you get down.
I get that for a car, then it's all zoomed off. And me, I'm supposed to report on the Uber app that see what happened and everything. But for some reason, I was just laughing. I was laughing, walking and rebooking another car, because even when the next Uber kept speaking, I was like, what am I doing on the highway? I was like, no, that you won't believe what just happened. So I just said him. So later on, the guy saw me, and he said, 2 weeks later, he saw me somewhere. He just said that he was checking to see whether I was going to report him, but I didn't report him. I said, I just know that I noticed that the screws in your head was not wrapped tight. So I just decided that if you could drop me in the middle of a highway by so and so time, because I did not support your movement, then only God knows what will happen when I still go and report you when you know my house. So I just decided that I should just let you go and be laughing, not that anything. And you see, because of that thing I did, we later became very close. We still disagree till tomorrow, but we became very good friends because he really appreciated the fact that at that moment of his anger and rage that I didn't report him, because he said that if I had done that, that they would have put him out, and really he needed the money, he was struggling and all that. So it's true
So he
what
was struggling, but his medulla was not still communicating to him that he.
I don't know what drives people's emotions and what gets them riled up. You never know. It could be one year thing, and the person will just misbehave. That moment you see the person. So
Because
that's
this is the thing. Sorry, Ron. This is the thing. Some people have come and said the most crazy stuff. And look, I'm not saying nobody should speculate that is what could have happened. But then look at when Wizkid fans and Davido fans fight. The kind of things they say to each other, you'll be like, Wizkid and Davido don't know the either of una. So
are you
why are you fighting this much?
are you not
You can
shocked? I'm not even discussing politics anyway. Are you not shocked that any
no, I was waiting for your brain to
if I
recalibrate.
go to
So
them and I see them discussing their candidates, I don't exist. If I go to another group, I don't even engage anybody. I don't have that
because
energy.
Davido's fans now, some that really stand him, stand like that, they can go and start. And you know, this internet, people drop a lot of information about themselves. That's the thing. You want to be Yanni Nokwata, and yet your house address, your street, everything is in full view, and somebody can just hunt you down.
It happened 4 years ago. It happened 4 years ago when Davido fan and Wizkid fans were fighting. Then somebody in Sulere in Shita abused Davido. So Davido thought what's the name? Wizkid Stubbs went captured the guy, Elenio. The next thing we just saw on Instagram that they were pouring water on somebody and flogging him with stick. What was
No baton.
what he robbed someone? They said no, that Wizkid shared money the other time that I collected. He said had the guts to come and be abusing him on social media. He didn't steal money, he didn't kill anybody, nothing. Just that he missed hand. They say yes.
There you go.
Oh.
So that's what we are saying about like emotional intelligence. It's not that, oh, you don't have a right to say what you want to say. It's your data. Say it. But should you? Because you can. Should you say it? It's like how you say you go to Nigeria. You can flex now. I've just come from the United States of America, and you can. It's your right. But should you? You are emotionally intelligent enough to know that I ain't doing that. So that's why when Abby was saying people are mad, I'm like, I get it. People are mad and all that, but in your madness, employ sense. There are things that you shouldn't say, that should never look at how many people that 10 years down the line, they want to do something in politics or whatever. They'll not go and dig one 1855 story about them that they did. They'll not be apologizing, but cancel culture does what? Cancels them anyway and says, no, even though you did it 50 years ago, you're cancelled. And these people that are talking are also part of the cancel culture that's canceling them all, forgetting that they'll be cancelled in the future too. So yes, we have a right to say what we want to say with our data. We can do, but come on. There's something about emotion. Intelligence isn't just about knowing book. It's about being able to read the room. I know that is not everything. There's this song, The Gambler by this guy this country singer that just died. Said you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run.
No way.
You know, we used to sing that school. That's on your school a lot. Know when to run. You better count your money. You have to know when to do things. You don't just do things because you can. You do things because it's the appropriate time and it's the right thing to do. You're hurting. Some people, who was it? I think Tolu, you were the one who was saying that some people just hate rich people. They just hate the fact that you are rich. That they are not rich and you are rich. They hate it. So anything you do, they hate you. But you now go and stay in a place that same rich man is coming to share money. You now say, because you're mad, you're not going to say that be insulting him and he wants to share money, and you that you don't have money, you're standing there. Isn't that stupidity? Isn't that stupidity of the highest order? Even someone who is insulting the person. Look at Remy Fani-Kayode now when he went on Instagram and was talking about this. And this Jadon said, Fani Kayode has no respect for himself. He has no conscience. He has no integrity and everything. But you know what? He has insulted our predecessors, and when we get there, he will insult us. But when he comes to come and work with us, we will still talk with him. We will engage him because we know he's a stupid person. And why? Imagine after all of that political, history and everything, look at what he has been reduced to, an idiot in police. So I'm not dictating to anybody, but let us employ this when we are using this and this, So Mr. H, is there anything else you want to drop? Tolu, is there anything else you want to drop? Anybody that wants to drop something extra? Abby.
Yeah, I just wanted to correct that notion for the other lady. What I'm saying is just that when I mean it's a lesson
Which
for
other
everybody.
lady?
Yeah, when I say it's a lesson for everybody, whatever happened in life, it's for everybody to learn from it. And this kind of thing, it's very, very sad. Nobody should lose their children or their loved one in this kind of manner, or nobody deserves to die this way. And so to all the parents out there, if you have a swimming pool or whatever you call it in your house, please buy a net to cover it. So when it's not in use,
not just any net, so it's a swimming pool net.
No, they no, any net cannot cover it. They have a special net because it has hooks that is laid around there's a special hooks that they dig on the floor to put it. It's very strong, it's all those very strong ones. And and we must always look out for our kids. And one thing I need to add is something I discovered here in South Africa. I don't know whether it happens in the UK or in the United States. Kids from 1 are taught swimming lessons. We have it around here. They advise every parent to take their child here to
Tolu has said, I beg, she's not letting her child swim because she's scared.
They have professionals that do it here. So I beckon on every parent to take their kids for swimming lesson because so in case of this, anything can happen in life. The minute you close your eyes and open it, like yesterday, I was telling somebody yesterday, I went to dry the clothes outside, and one of my daughters, she was just standing in front of me, picking the peg, playing around. The next thing I look, I can't find her again. I looked the whole compound, she was hiding behind my car near the tire. So I was like, where is this lady they just standing in front of me? So when you close your eyes and you open it, you don't see them again. So we should all be careful. And I pray that God console Davido and his family and anybody that has lost a child through any tragedy or the other. We just pray that the Almighty God would give them comfort in this difficult time all over the whole world. It shouldn't happen to anybody. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much. And for those who are watching and don't understand what piang means, that's our Nigerian way of saying whoosh. Like before you can say psh, they're gone. So that's what piang, because Mr. H has used piang several times. So Tolu, you told me earlier that you will not allow your baby to go and learn how to swim because he has codes, chess, he has this and that. We live on an island though. I hope you know that. So it is very, very important for anyone living on an island to know how to swim. So are you going to let your child learn how to swim now? Or you are still thinking about it? Okay.
Are we?
Thank you very much. At least we've been able to convince one person to let her child learn how to swim. Nana, you were saying?
Yeah, I used to live in the desert, and my children still learned how to swim. My children learned how to swim in Kano. Kano is a desert.
So nobody has an excuse.
Nobody has an excuse.
Because they were not going to swim in sand. Anyways, they had to swim.
But they still learned miraculously.
miraculously. Honestly, I was seeing you. Ah, I'm so happy. You know that my stomach is not doing tulum with joy that you are here. So I'm so
I'm
happy
so
that
happy
you
to be
actually
here.
I
Finally,
don't
every time
know.
I think of joining, it's always like the timing, I miss it or something. So I said, today, now today, oh, I must join my people.
Thank you so much. I don't know what happened to Kayode. He was here and then just as I called him, he just disappeared and he hasn't
Maybe he
come
didn't
back
want to
since.
talk. He's shy.
Not true. Shy indeed. Very why shall he shy?
Okay, you can run. Very soon you'll be on a Tijo, so get ready.
Oh, definitely. I've told you that if you want me, but you know that me, I come with Wahala.
Now you
So
Sabi.
so Abby, anything else you want to add on to this before we round off, please?
I think we've said more than enough. Just like Mr. Ron said, as many that are going through this period, um, we pray for comfort for them.
Yes.
Um, it's not an easy thing, and like you said, we all have to learn how to be sensitive. Not just in this case, in so many other cases where mishap or things do happen to people. I get it. If you're hurt before, if something is wrong with you before, then sometimes there's a thin line between you understanding that just be human, think about it, and then absorb it a tiny little bit, and then have time to kind of process it. I I remember I was I think when there was George Floyd and everybody was saying Black Lives Matter, and I was like, as much as I understand that Black Lives Matter, I also understand that all lives matter. And it took forever for me to get what the whole gist was all about. And I remember my friends at the time were like, "Oh no, I don't believe you said this. I don't believe you said this." Now, the same way that I do not understand those things at the time, I'm looking at it that a lot of people would have spilled wherever they're spilling because they don't understand what they are doing. And so I really hope that they can go reflect and then think that, whatever thing that they are saying is something they have to think about, but you know, just allow people to kind of be human as well. Give them opportunity to be human, to think, not to accept everything that we say, but to get that understanding. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. And then before I say thank you as well to everyone who's tuned in, everyone who's listening to us. Thank you so much. I want to say a massive thank you to Mr. H, to Abby Fash, to Nana Shehu, to Tolulope Fabumi, to Matarazzi, to Kayode, who came in very quickly, and of course to Mr. Ron. But I'm just saying thank you quickly because I'm now going to hand over to Mr. Ron to do his Ron Explains, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Want to explain? There's nothing to explain again. Our person don't die now, and we are sorry that the person.
Hey, I didn't want you to come and say I did not let you explain. No,
Sorry,
everybody have here, ba?
I had a lot of explanation to do, but there are too many religions on that one, so I had to tell this.
Okay, so you don't have anything to explain today.
No, there's too much religion in it. It's not encouraging.
There's
Let's wrap.
nothing that you can't like de-religionalize it.
No.
See, I'm the one begging him to do Ron Explain now.
There's Ephesians and Corinthians inside, even Acts of the Apostles, and all this is a problem. Let's just wrap it up and do after party.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. It is on record that I begged him. He said no. Well, thank you, everyone, for watching. Really appreciate you spending the time with us because it is precious time that you spend with us. We do not take it lightly. And we'll be here again, same time, same place. For people who are wondering what's happening with the time, in England, we are now 1 hour behind. So it's sort of later for us here.
The show is supposed to come forward. The show is supposed to come back to the original time, not go back and not go behind. We are supposed to come forward.
Okay, well, you explained that logistics for me because I didn't understand anything you said just there. So, yes, but till we do this again, same time, same place. Thank you so much. I remain Abby, and everyone right here are my friends. Thank you, and take care, and God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Stay for the after party,
Bye.
people.
Wait.
Hey.
End it now.